Hi, it is day 1 of NaNoWriMo. Let's do this. It is currently day 3 of NaNoWriMo. I'm doing okay so far. I'm currently averaging around 1,100 words a day, which isn't quite enough to meet the word count. The daily word count's supposed to be, I think, 1,667 or something. But I'm hoping to catch up with where I'm supposed to be today, which is around 5,000 words, because I'm working all day tomorrow, like 8 a.m. until 9:30 p.m. So I will have like a little break in between 4:30 and 6:30 when I will be having my dinner. But I think I'll also do some writing because it's not going to take me 2 hours to have dinner. I have some other stuff I need to do as well, but I think I can probably get all that done in an hour, so then have an hour to eat and write a little bit. But yeah, so today I'm hoping to do like 2 days catch up, or at least do like 2 days worth of writing, because even if I write tomorrow, I don't think I'm gonna write like 1,000+ words, but hopefully I can get like a few hundred done tomorrow, and I'll see if I have time to update. I'm feeling good so far. I know we're 3 days in, but I'm feeling good so far. I am currently writing out of order. I'm just writing things as they come to me. So I normally start off at least doing that for the first like week. I just write scenes as I think of them, or write down moments as I think of them, and then as we get further into the month I start putting things in chronological order and like filling gaps. That's personally just how I write and how I've done NaNoWriMo for the past few years. I know everyone writes very differently. I haven't planned this novel as much as I would have liked. I just got into a very weird headspace in the end of October, especially with the announcement that we will be going back into a lockdown for about a month, from Thursday. So I've not been working since the beginning of November, just because it's been like my days off. So I'm back to work tomorrow for a full day, a very busy day, and then we're back into lockdown. So all of November will be in this weird lockdown state. So technically I have no reason not to write, because I won't be going out to work, I won't be going out to meet friends, not that I've really been doing that anyway since March. But yeah, I have sort of no excuse not to write because I will be at home for a month, which I'm hoping will mean I'm productive, but I also worry that it means I will get partway into the month and just sort of lose all motivation because lockdown is not the best. I thought I'd just I'm not going to go into detail about what my project is, because I have like a basic idea. I know what I want to happen, but it's not particularly planned out, so I don't even know that much about my project. The first year I did NaNoWriMo, I did like a contemporary love story between 2 young women. That's probably the most planned out I've ever had a NaNoWriMo project, and since then we've gone wildly off, and so has my word count. First year I did NaNoWriMo, I think I did about 30,000 words. Second year I did NaNoWriMo was like a zombie apocalypse kind of story, which I really enjoyed writing. and it's probably the one I'm most excited to revisit at some point. And I did about 25,000 words on that one. Last year I did like a light fantasy romance that was set like modern day, but there were some small fantastical elements in it, but it was mostly about a romance. And I only managed to do about 16,000 words on that one, like 16,000 and something hundred. So each year I've got progressively worse with my word count, so I hope that doesn't happen this time. But this year I'm endeavouring to do a fantasy novel, and I'm nervous about it. But I had this idea earlier in the year and it's like really stuck with me as an idea, so I thought I would just attempt to do it for NaNoWriMo, because I thought, when else would I do it? Like, I had no other new ideas, and I like to do a new project for NaNoWriMo, which is kind of silly because I've never finished any of my projects. But I wanted to do a new idea, and this was the only like strong idea I had. So this one is a fantasy, like sort of high fantasy. We're talking about kingdoms, queendoms, like mythological creatures, that kind of thing. But again, the central part of it, I guess, is a romance. There's like there is going to be a lot of plot and like political stuff going on, but the idea kind of spurred on from these two characters that I had, and it was kind of inspired by a trope. So we have the main character, who is a princess who is going to like a kingdom, a queendom. She lives in a kingdom. She's going to a queendom to sort out a like peace deal, trade agreement kind of thing. That's like my basic premise. And obviously she needs like a bunch of people to go with her. So she's got like a few lords, ladies' maids, Kingsguard, but then has one specific bodyguard assigned to her, who is supposed to like only be in charge of protecting her. And I think we can see where this is going. I love a bodyguard trope. So that's what I'm doing. But I love romance. And the idea also came to me because I had like a very specific scene in mind initially, because I want part of it, like the middle section or a few chapters, to be set on a ship, because I've been watching Black Sails and I love it so much. So I wanted some of it to be set on a ship, and I also, during lockdown, rewatched the first 3 Pirates of the Caribbean movies. So I had this like idea of a scene where they're traveling, because like the kingdom and the queendom are like across the sea, and they get attacked by some sort of sea creature, because I definitely knew that I wanted to have some sort of like fantasy creatures in it. And I toyed with the idea of dragons, I toyed with the idea of other like land animals, and I thought, if I'm picturing a ship scene, there could be a sea creature. So I've yet to write that scene, but I'm very excited about it. Yeah, I think this was an ambitious project to undertake, because it involves like a lot of research, and they always say like NaNoWriMo fantasy novels during NaNoWriMo are a big undertaking, because you've got to not just set it in the real world, and then you can create new characters in the real world, and it's not, you don't have to do all that background. What's this going to be called? Do they speak the same way that we do? Do they have their own religious system? Is there a magic system? What's the historical setting and context of all these make-believe kingdoms? So I have definitely given myself a task to undertake, but I'm excited. So that's where I'm at on day 3. It's midday. It's 10 to 1, and I've written, I think, like 800 words this morning, so that's good. That's good by me. If I can double that, which I reckon I could do this afternoon, and then maybe take another break, and then write more in the evening just before I go to bed, because that's what I've been doing and it seems to be working. Yeah, I'm excited. It is day 6 of NaNoWriMo. The past few days haven't been as productive. I worked all day Wednesday, like literally all day. Managed to write a couple hundred words during my break. So yeah, came home in the evening and typed those out and added on a couple of hundred words, so I managed like 500 and something. And then yesterday I just wasn't feeling it. I was just really tired. So I wrote a bit during the afternoon, then again came up to bed, typed out what I'd written, and then added a couple hundred more words. So I managed around like 800 and something words. I've definitely got worse at keeping up my word count. And again today, I'm really tired. I don't know why. I'm just watching my stats on the NaNoWriMo website slowly get further away from the projected word count that you need to keep up. So I need to just have like one really good writing day, I think, to get me back on track. But I don't think that's going to be today, because I'm just really tired. I think maybe I need to try writing in the morning. Maybe tomorrow I might try and wake up slightly earlier than usual. Maybe try and get up at like 7 or something, 7:30, and write a bit. Maybe break it up throughout the day. Like, even if I said like I'll write 400 words, have a break, 400 words, have a break, 400 words, have a break, 400 words, have a break. Like 400 words at a time doesn't sound so bad as like writing 2,000 words, you know? If you break it up into like 4, 5, 6 sets of 400 words, then by the end of the day you've written like 1,600 plus words. Yeah, I think I just need to schedule my time better. I think I'm getting need to get into a sort of lockdown writing schedule. Yeah, so this is a very low energy clip. I'm very tired. Yeah, that's what I need to do. So I will definitely write something today, but it might not be a lot. I will hopefully update you when I've written more. and maybe if I write more I'll be a bit more upbeat. So today is the 13th, almost 2 weeks into NaNoWriMo. I am feeling mixed about things. I had two or three really good writing days where I wrote over the daily word count. I'm still behind on like general word count, but I was like catching back up again. I had days where I wrote like 1,700, 1,800, and then just over 2,000 words. I was feeling very positive, catching back up. And then yesterday I only managed 1,200 because I had other stuff to do. I didn't write much in the morning. I had tried to get into a habit of writing in the morning instead of just getting it all done in the evening, and it was working well for me. And then I didn't really write anything. I think I wrote like 100, 200 words in the morning, then went and did circuits with like training with my sister and my dad in like a private space in his building at work. And by the time I got home I was so tired I didn't really feel like writing, but I did manage to scrape out like another 1,000 words, but kind of felt a bit rubbish by the end of the night. I'd wanted to finish writing earlier in the evening because I've been going to bed at like midnight, past midnight, and I'm very tired. But I ended up going to bed at midnight again. So I woke up early this morning, which means I'm running on less sleep, but I figure if I get started earlier, I can be finished earlier and go to bed at a reasonable time. I used to stay up until like 4 a.m, 3 a.m, 4 a.m. when I was at uni, like most nights, and now it gets to midnight and I'm done. I'm old. So anyway, I'm now on 17,309 words, I think, where I should be based on like, if you write 1,667 words a day, I should be to be on target at about 21,000 words. So I'm not massively far off. I'm doing a lot better this year than I have in previous years. Last year was my worst year and I've actually surpassed my entire word count for last year because I only managed like 16,000 words, so I'm doing well. But my aim for today is to write just loads. I'm currently, I know they say just write, don't edit, but because I've written like chunks of things, I'm now going through this morning everything I've already written. I'm adding in like more descriptions where I just like had an idea of dialogue in my head. I wrote the dialogue. Now I'm going back and adding in more descriptors around that. If there's any scenes where I have like the lead up to a scene and the end of a scene, I'm now like writing the rest. I'm like bridging the gaps between those scenes. I'm writing what goes in the middle, the transitions, that kind of thing, which like is very bitty, but it's upping my word count because I'm doing like linking two scenes, writing 200 words there, linking two other scenes, writing 100 words, linking the beginning and the end of a scene, writing like 500 words. So I've written, about 500, 600 words this morning, and I've only edited like 3 pages out of 26. So I'm hoping if I continue doing that this morning, then I can hit like 1,000 words of that, and then this afternoon I can write new scenes and sort of carry on from where I was, because I don't normally write chronologically. I write ideas as they come to me, but the other day I took everything from my like messy Word document and I put it in chronological order so that I could start bridging gaps and things. But there is a point where I've written a bunch of scenes like before something happens, but I've not written like anything after that, so I could start writing stuff after that thing happens. But I'm enjoying the story. I feel like normally it gets to a point where I start hating my story. I haven't reached that point yet. But my goal, even though I'm not a super fast writer, like my dream goal for today is to hit 20,000 words. My more realistic goal is to hit 18,500. So yeah, that is my plan. Let's see how that goes. Good morning. It is Saturday the 14th. I had big plans for yesterday. As I told you, my aspirational goal was 20,000 words. My realistic goal was 18,500. And did I hit 20,000? No. Did I hit 18,500? Yes. I actually hit 19,100 and something, like 23 or something. I wrote 2,300 and something words. I'm chuffed. I'm very pleased. It's my best writing day in terms of daily word count. I didn't even finish what I call edit adding, where I edit roughly and add bits into link scenes. Edit adding. I have about 29 pages of words and I did like 21, so I still have 8 more to do. So I'm going to try and do that this morning, but I'm hopeful that that will boost my word count, because if I manage to add in 2,300 words just from edit adding, I'm hoping with those remaining like 8 pages that will get me, 1,000 words, and then I can write some just like straight up new stuff, probably that comes maybe towards the end of the book. The thing is, because I write non-chronologically, I've got like a lot of big scenes written or partially written, and then some like nice scenes where like relationships form or solidify, but I've not got all the sort of like linking bits where plot happens. Yeah, I need to do things that move the plot along but are like less like action, more like sort of political chat, because it's like about kingdoms and queendoms and trade deals and stuff. It's more interesting than that. I'm gonna sound so bored. So I need to add in sort of like the court politics side of things a bit more, which are going to take more thought, because I think I can write an action scene without like massive prep, but obviously I need to flesh out the way that my world works, being a fantasy world. But at this point, in general, I'm feeling pretty positive. I think I will struggle in the coming weeks as I run out of things or run out of fun things to add. But so far, this is the best I've ever done at NaNoWriMo in terms of like a consistent writing and consistent word count. Because apart from a couple of days when I was working or when I was exhausted, I've managed to stay above at least 1,000 words a day. Yeah, apart from like 2 days, whereas previous years that have not been the case. But I also do think that's down to the fact that we are in the middle of a pandemic still, and I'm only working half my hours and I'm doing them from home. So I've pretty much just been at home the whole time, so kind of don't have an excuse not to write. But I would like to, if I can, within today and tomorrow, I think, I want to get above the word count that is where like you should be for NaNoWriMo, because I next week have a lot of stuff to do in terms of I kind of just want to like tidy my room and sort this out because it's a bit of a mess, and I need to do a lot of stuff for work that's very like time sensitive. Like it needs to be done by a certain day, by a certain time on that day. So I want to get ahead on the word count so that maybe on the other days I don't need to write as much, and I can have a more relaxed day where I don't do as much writing, but I do a lot of like life maintenance. I think I will still write on those days because I want to like have updated my word count every single day, but it would be nice if I could just chill and feel like I only had to write like 500 words that day instead of 1,700, you know. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm feeling positive there, so that's nice. I feel like I'd get to the end of NaNoWriMo, rewatch this clip and be like, oh, you were so naive. So that's where I'm at. That's where we're at. Yeah, let's go. Right.